myself, Dr. Rajesh Gubba. I welcome you all to the DBMCI channel. So, as a part of the daily session on the clinical ECG, today I'm discussing the second clinical ECG. So, if you take the clinical scenario of the patient, right? So, before going ahead with the session, let me just give you a small information that I am conducting a session on ECG on 29th of January on DBMCI eGurukul app. That will be a live session, and that session will be from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So in this session, I'll be discussing all the way from basics to the advanced level of the ECG. So this particular session will be useful for third year MBBS, fourth year MBBS students, interns, post interns, junior and senior registrars, and as well as the postgraduates as well. So those students who are interested, you can just subscribe to this particular course by clicking on the link which is given in the description. Having said this, let me discuss the clinical ECG of the day. So I have a 57-year-old patient with no prior cardiac history, and he presented with symptoms of exercise-induced palpitations, undergoes an exercise treadmill test, right? So the presentation is with symptoms of exercise-induced palpitations, and he is asked to do a treadmill test, and sustained wide QRS complex tachycardia at the rate of 170 beats per minute occur during the recovery phase of the treadmill test. The ECG is shown to you in the figure. The patient is hemodynamically stable. She is given 5 milligrams of intravenous metoprolol. After giving 5 milligrams of intravenous metoprolol, sinus rhythm is restored 5 minutes later. Echocardiogram reveals normal right and as well as left ventricular function. What is the most likely diagnosis? So the options are ischemic VT, idiopathic right ventricular outflow tract ventricular tachycardia, catecholaminergic VT, idiopathic LVVT. So this is the ECG which has been shown to you. Right. So what are the abnormalities that you are able to make out in this particular ECG? First, I'll show you them. Right. So this is ECG, the same previous ECG. What are all the abnormalities you are seeing? First and foremost, you take the rhythm. Rhythm, it is a regular rhythm. But if you take the heart rate, there is tachycardia. So the heart rate, it is nearly around 170 beats per minute. And apart from that, you take the complexes, the QRS complexes. So you have a wide QRS complex. So wide QRS complex, where all you will have mostly in clinical scenarios like bundle branch blocks, and as well as in clinical scenarios like ventricular origin of the rhythm. So in ventricular rhythms, bundle branch blocks, SVT with aberrancy, there also you will have wide QRS complexes. So you are having a wide QRS complex in this ECG. And the other abnormalities, if you see, right, if you take the axis, right, the axis, it is the inferior axis. It is almost like 90 degrees. Okay. There is not much abnormality within the axis here. And if you take, you have the deep S wave in V1, which is wide, and you have a dominant R wave in V6 that is also wide. And what is that you are observing here is exactly at the point of V3 you have the transition. So you have an S wave until V2. Exactly at V3 you have the transition of the R wave. So to summarize, tachycardia is there, rhythm is normal, wide QRS complexes, you have deep wide S wave, broad dominant R wave in V6, and transition of the R wave is at V3. All these points, they are suggestive of right ventricular outflow tract ventricular tachycardia. In RVOT-VT, let me tell you, you will have what is called as LBBB pattern. That is left bundle branch block pattern of the ECG will be there in case of RVOT-VT. So the answer in this clinical scenario is B. that is idiopathic RVOT VT. Now you have to understand that it is only when there is left bundle branch block, the impulse will be originating from the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, the impulse will go to the left ventricle. So from the right ventricle, abnormal impulses are originating, resulting in the development of ventricular tachycardia. That is called as RVOT-VT. So what will be the features of RVOT-VT now? You will have LBBB morphology. You have inferior axis. You have RS complex in V1, R wave in V6, but they are broad. And where is the transition? Transition is exactly at V3. So these are the features of right ventricular outflow tract VT. And if you take the other options, you take ischemic VT, okay, and you also have another option, that is LVVT. LVVT, that is left ventricular outflow tract VT. How will be the ECG changes? I will tell you. But before that, how do you treat this particular patient of RVOT VT? So most common VTs are RVOT VTs, and most of them, they are idiopathic. The individual, if he is stable, what you can do is you can just do the vagal maneuvers, that is carotid sinus massage, or you can give adenosine 6 milligrams as well. And other agents that you can give is the calcium channel blockers, that is verapamil can be given, or beta blockers, that is metoprolol can be given. These are the two other alternative agents that can be given in the individuals with RVOT-VT. Our patient has been given the metoprolol, after which the rhythm has come to normal. And very important thing is, if the same individual is unstable, then those patients, they require DC cardioversion. Please remember, this is a golden rule. Any unstable arrhythmias, you have to do a DC cardioversion. And you take the other options, right? You take LVOT-VT, left ventricular outflow tract ventricular tachycardia. In case of LVOT-VT, first and foremost, you take the axis. The axis will be right axis deviation will be there, right? And the second abnormality is you have the presence of R wave in V1 and as well as V2. Normally you don't have a R wave in V1 and V2 itself in a normal ECG, but in patients with LVOT-VT, they have the R wave which is starting from lead V1 and as well as V2 as well. And the next important abnormality is the presence of S wave in lead 1. Normally you don't have S wave in lead 1. So these are the changes of LVOT-VT. So let me summarize. Right axis deviation will be there. Number 2, you have the presence of R wave in V1 and V2. And number 3, the presence of deep S wave in lead 1. This will be the ECG changes in LVOT-VT. Then coming on to ischemic VT. Ischemic VT was another option for us. In case of ischemic VT, most of them, they are monomorphic ventricular tachycardia. Right, they are monomorphic ventricular tachycardia. And in these patients with ischemic VT, you don't have, right, you don't have either RBBB or LBBB pattern. Right, you don't have RBBB or LBBB pattern. And if you take the axis in these patients with ischemic VT, they have extreme axis deviation. Right, the axis will be in between -90 to -180. That is what you will observe in case of the ischemic VT. So yes, the ECG features of ischemic VT are very broad complexes, absence of typical RBBB or LBBB morphology, and they have extreme axis deviation. And finally, the last option is the catecholinergic VT. Catecholinergic VT, let me tell you, it is a form of polymorphic ventricular tachycardia. That means the QRS complexes, whatever are there, they are not of the similar shape. They are of variable morphologies. That is what you will have in case of catecholinergic VT. So going back to the clinical scenario, so you see this patient, what are all the things the individual is having? The individual is having LBBB pattern. The individual is having the inferior axis. And the individual is having wide QRS complexes. So this patient can be treated by your vagal maneuvers. Adenosine can be given. calcium channel blocker like verapamil can be given, and as well as metoprolol can be given. So this will be the clinical ECG of the day. So let me just remind you once again, those students who are interested in learning the ECG from basics to the advanced level, I am doing a live session on DBMCI eGurukul app, a live session. That will be from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And those students who want to get subscribed can just click on the link which is being given in the description. Thank you very much. See you in the next clinical session tomorrow.